Hello, everyone. Hi there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you all. Today, I want us to talk about how to stay dignified when you hit rock bottom. Life shows up. We all know it. And you ain't always going to be happy. You ain't always going to be your best. Life shows up, and when life does show up, we need to also have strategies to support ourselves to stay well. So, regardless of having hit rock bottom, it's still possible to stay dignified even when you find yourself in that situation. So, most of the tips and strategies I'm going to share with you are things that have worked for me. You know, as a mental health practitioner, I am constantly exploring, tools and strategies to support myself to stay well. And that is what I get to share with other people as well. And so I do a lot of journaling, as you can see. I keep a journal where I pen down some of the feelings and thoughts that I experience sometimes. It's a very healthy way of letting out your emotions and not repressing them. Very important. It's extremely important in supporting your emotional health. When you journal out and you pen out your feelings and thoughts, it kind of helps you to get some relief, so you don't feel overwhelmed with all those thoughts. An average human being has over 60,000, thoughts in a day. You can imagine what that looks like. So, journaling helps me a lot. So, I'm going to share some of the tips and strategies in my journal, some of the things that have worked for me, and then hopefully you learn a thing or two to support yourself wherever you are. So, the first thing I want to talk about in staying dignified when you hit rock bottom is to give yourself grace. And giving yourself grace, by that I mean be kind to yourself, And this is something that you cannot just do spontaneously. You have to be intentional about it by being compassionate with yourself, giving yourself grace, being kind to yourself, and treating yourself well and acknowledging that, hey, you don't have to be so hard on yourself. It's okay to be where you are, to experience what is happening. Trust me, in every challenge is a blessing. So give yourself grace. The second thing I want to talk about is number 2. Believing in your own ability to bounce back is extremely important. Nobody is going to do that for you except you. So you have to believe in your own ability to bounce back, So, no matter how rough life gets, you know, it is always important that you have confidence in yourself, that you will be able to get through it and bounce back. It's some kind of a mindset that you have to, get in those moments of, difficulty or challenges. Believing in your own ability, having confidence in your own ability that you will be able to bounce back, pick up the pieces together and bounce back. It's really important that you support yourself in that way, And so let's move on to the third point. So again, the third point is allowing yourself to feel the pain, the disappointment, the denials, the delays. whatever circumstance you find yourself in, it comes with emotional pain. Allow yourself to feel it, whether it's emotional pain, physical pain. It's important that you allow yourself to process it, acknowledge that pain, sit with it, process it, and then let it go. It is more helpful when you acknowledge and accept something like it is what it is, right in the moment. This is what is happening for you. And so acknowledging what is happening, acknowledging the pain you feel, the emotional turmoil you are experiencing, processing it and letting it go is also helpful in getting you to stay dignified. Yeah. And again, in addition to that, you have to be willing to pay the price, paying the price and being willing to do the work, as in if it's crying, if it is, going on a park and screaming out your emotions and, something, whatever work you need to do to process the pain, embrace it and let it go. You have to do it. So that is one way you can also stay dignified when you hit rock bottom. The third point I'm going to talk about is being willing to take personal responsibility. And this is a big one for me. Taking personal responsibility is everything. It means you need to ask the important question. What role did you play? How have you contributed to the results or the outcomes that you are currently experiencing? So whatever situation you find yourself, it is important for you to also not go around blaming other people and blaming situations or systems or circumstances for those outcomes. You definitely have a role to play. So it's important to ask yourself, how have you contributed to these results, to these outcomes? What role did you play? And you got to be honest with yourself in taking responsibility for your actions and inactions, because that is the only way you get to be accountable to yourself and stay dignified, even in those moments of difficulty, right?